My two loves, art and books. Put them together and it's the book cover. The most judged thing in the world. Here we are, judging books by their covers. Hey, I'm Myrna and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is inspired by a cover reveal. I was very excited to see the cover of Funny Story get revealed. I believe this is the US cover and it really drew my attention because of how brilliantly it's drawn. You see the body language, the expression on their faces, and the minimal background really stands out. And just when I thought it couldn't get better, the UK cover got revealed. Also couldn't take my eyes off this one, particularly the background, the colors, the moment of conversation was really sweet. It's the same book, same characters, but these different snapshots, these different moments that really encapsulate the whole book. It got me curious though, what is the best version, UK or US? And just as I was wondering that, guess what I saw? That's right, a quiz. As an Australian, I have no stakes in this game. We get mostly UK covers, but some stores do sell US covers, so if you want them, you got them. Let me just preface this by saying these are all amazing. They wouldn't be covers to bestsellers if they weren't amazing, but this is just a sort of experiment to see what draws my eye personally and why that is. I studied art for a little bit, done some illustrations for magazines or covers, so I think I'm a little bit of an artist in the very loose sense of the word. I kind of know what it takes to really fit the brief, and I think all these artists fit the brief. No matter how different it is, depending on the publishers, depending on the countries, of course. Am I going to do the quiz? Yes, I'm going to do the quiz. Are you going to do the quiz with me? Yes, please. Come along. So the quiz is called Which is Better? Pick between the UK cover and US cover for these books. First up, The Midnight Library. So left is for the UK and US is right. These two are very good. There's a very mystical quality to them both and they fit very well to the story. But if I had to choose, something about the windows peeking into every little alternative reality that she goes into does draw my eye a little more, even though I read the UK version. So I'm gonna go right for US. 75% right. All right. Clara and the Sun. From what I remember of this book, it's a very heartfelt story and it follows an AI on her journey. And a lot of it, at least the prose that really intrigued me in the beginning, really let me dive deeper into the book, was the AI in the shop window staring out into the world. I'm gonna go UK cover. Ooh, also the majority. All right, The Hating Game. I've seen both these covers everywhere, but if I had to pick one that I associate with more, it'd have to be the UK. They both got the yellow dress, and they've both got them. Listen, I'm gonna go with the UK because it's the one I read. Also the majority. Maybe we should change the game to see if I can get all the majority ones. They both die at the end. The first one being the stylized sand clock, I don't know what it's called, with the title going down is absolutely brilliant. But what captures the melancholy emotion and just the impending doom. Second one, the time of night that's depicted. Also the shadow, I think that's also brilliant. It's poetic and it really puts you in the book straight away. And the stakes, of course, judging from the title, is very high. So I'm gonna go right for US. Also the majority vote. Normal people. This is a hard one. The US one with just the outlines of their faces. It shows so much emotion just from depicting this little part of someone's face and their eyes alone. It's brilliant. But I have to go with the UK because it is the iconic little, what is it, like a fish tin or something like that, anchovies, and they're both in it in an embrace. You know, you've got an iconic cover when someone gets it tattooed. And I'm pretty sure I saw someone on the internet get this tattooed, so I'm gonna go UK. This is a close one. It's very close. The Vanishing Half. The first one does catch my eye and so does the second one, but I'm gonna have to go with the non-pastel one. Just for aesthetic alone, even though I do have the pastel copy. The first time I'm not with the majority. I just like bright neon colors. I mean, if you look at my Instagram, all bright neon colors, and that's my thing. That's like my aesthetic. Gallant. Something very beautiful about that globe of the second one, but the first one has this mirror image that really draws your eye, especially with the border of roses that gets mirrored underneath as well. I'm gonna go for the first one just because it's very dark academia. 74%, all right, so this is a big majority. Loveless. Alice Osman, I think, drew both of these because it's in her art style. But something about the US cover with the characters and their expression and in her signature style, I'm gonna go with right. Another not majority one, Paris apartment. I'm reading this right now. This is on my TBR for next month. The first one is really minimal. Something about having the location really transports you there, even though the door with the little Eiffel Tower is really smart. I'm gonna go right, US. Majority. The Flat Share. I've seen ads for the show everywhere. Read it before watching the show. This one's a hard one because they're very different styles. It depends if you want to be in the physical location or get a little glimpse of the people that it's about. And I'm gonna go with left. It's like when you're watching a play, you're in the setting. Even though I love book covers with cartoon people in the front, I think that's like a staple of romance now, which I'm enjoying seeing. Oh, speaking of people in the front, Daisy Jones and the Six. This is, I'm gonna go with the US cover. I can't unsee Dakota Johnson. Very iconic, very 70s, I think it's very indicative of that era. And the album cover art and especially the colors. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with the US. Beach read. So here you have two different points of views. Different yet similar color palettes, but the first one you're sort of with them when it's a bird's eye view. I love the bird's eye view. I think it's eye-catching, but something about the UK cover just draws your eye because again, you're in the scene with them. The majority, that's very interesting. School for Good Mothers. The first one is brilliantly drawn, but the second one the mystery of the second one draws my eye more. I'm gonna go with left, just because it shows the setting, and I'm going to stick by what I said with the setting. Either the characters or the setting I like. The Maid. Both have different aspects of a door. You either have a do not disturb sign that's actually a hotel, or a keyhole with a maid running away. They're both brilliant, but I don't know. The red color really captures my eye, but something so hotel-y, I know that's not a word, but something very hotel-y about the first one. Especially with the font choice. Oh, we haven't spoken about fonts today. We're getting fancy. So I'm gonna go with left. 51. This is also a close one. Again, they're both really brilliant. Dial A for Aunties. I haven't read this book, but I really, really love the art style of the first. It reminds me of the comic book style. But the second one does show the aunties, and I feel like Dial A for Aunties involves the aunties a lot in the story. So I'm gonna go with the right. 6 Crimson Cranes. I love these both. So this is settings versus a character. Setting is beautiful. You see the cranes, that's beautiful. Also, the color choice is breathtaking. The emotion of the second one, especially the eye contact, really draws you in. So I'm gonna go with right. Run Rose Run by Dolly Parton and James Patterson. What? I haven't heard of this book before. I'm gonna go with right because it is that seed and it's less edited. I'm gonna go with right. Oh, this is also a close one. Praying in H Mart. I've seen the second cover more and the red does catch your eye, so I'm gonna go with right. And it's the majority. Love in the Big City. Something about the little heart and the city in the background draws my eye more than the cigarette packet, so I'm gonna go right. Also a really close one. And finally, Black Cake. The first spoon is really eye-catching, but the second one where you have a face in those shapes is also really interesting. Realistic versus a stylized. I think my eye would go to the stylized version just because there's more colors and it straight away it's just there. So I'm gonna go US. I've added up the scores. US covers win overall, but it was very close. Thank you very much for watching and I'll see you on the flip page.